Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday Tell the World Nation Zoom call. Super excited for our special guest speaker today. Before we get started, though, I quickly want to share announcements. We'll keep it super short, super simple. You guys know Impact is next Saturday. If you have not signed up or your team has not, make sure you connect with them, get everybody signed up. Also, if you would like to help volunteer, we need volunteers in the morning and at lunchtime for the raffle tickets. And that is for our Run Charitable Foundation. So definitely text Christy and let her know, and she'll add you to the list. There's a car party today for Cherish Wicker Land in Upland. I believe it's at 1 or 2 o'clock. So if you want to get up there with a guest, that's a great place to take a guest. We've got District Dreaming happening right now. Peer Perks ends today. You guys know the Kendra Scott Top 10 Challenge or Top Sponsor Challenge. And also, you guys, we have the new product, ESVPs, the fall line and the holiday line. So make sure you get yours. I've got my holiday. I'm waiting for Steve to get back home so we can do our live together unboxing. So with that, that's it. I'm going to pass it over to Christy.
Awesome. So much good stuff. Okay, you guys, we're starting something new today that we're going to be doing for the rest of our biggest season of the year. Okay. So you all know, I don't know if you watch football, but football preseason is actually coming to an end. Our preseason is over and now it's game time. It's Arbonne game time. And Arbonne game time means the biggest quarter is upon us. So that's what's going down right now. So for the next couple months until the end of the year, we have a weekly cheer board, okay, where if anyone who's on the field playing, I'm calling it you're on the field, you have to get your name on the board, and every single Saturday morning I'm going to share who's on the board for this week and who has a new independent consultant. So what it's going to be is if you have 500 PQV you do that week, or you get a new business builder that week, you get your name shouted out the next weekend. So I just want to share with you right now on the board at this moment in time is anyone who has currently 500 PQV or a new business builder. So real fast, there's actually a lot of names. So congratulations to all of you guys so far. But now you got to know next week it starts, this next 7 days, you got to get 500 PQV or a new consultant to get your name shouted out next weekend, okay? And every single month it's going to start over. I'm going to clear the board out. And for you to get your name on the board, you have to put at least 500 PQB on the board or a new consultant to be even on the board at all. So on the board, we have Sarah Thompson, who is our top PQV for the entire week. She did 2,900 QV in 1 week, you guys. It was actually only 3 days. So if she can do $2,900 in 3 days, all y'all can do 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever, you know. Set your bar high, you guys. This is our biggest season of the entire year. So get in the game, get ready, get fired up, and I'm going to bring pom-poms next time. Okay, so Miss Ruth Sherlock, she's on the board with a brand new consultant as well. Congratulations, Ruth. Sherilyn, congratulations, Sherilyn, with a brand new consultant, Miss Evelyn. So I can't wait to meet you, Evelyn. Eric, you're seconds away from finishing district. You're on the board. Jennifer Torres, Sarah Taylor, Jillian Feather, Jamie Martinez, Bailey Fitzpatrick. You guys, like, let's cheer each other on. Like, I want you to be like saying like, congrats everybody. Oh my gosh. Melissa Sandoval. I think I said your name right. Joanna Gordon, Heidi Rivera, Sarah Miller, Amanda Holman, Karen Maynard, Irma Velasquez Pulaski. Congrats. Sarah Clark, Jessica Gillespie, Jasmine Pasanante, Heather Cleaves, Jennifer Torres, Amanda Johnson, and Sasha Lemus. I hope I said that right. But congrats, all of you guys have your 500 PQV. So next week, it's going to be anyone who did it in the next 7 days. So weekly, we're going to be cheering you guys on. And now you can kind of focus in on what you need to be focusing on. And these 2 columns, which represent PQV and business builders, that means new. That means you have full control over this. Each individual person 100% has control of you getting on the board. It isn't what your team does, it's what you do. So you want to be filling up this side of the board. This side of the board, we want it to be like consultant, 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 consultant. Because new PCs will bring you cash. New consultants will blow your business up, okay? So kind of radar that focus in on bringing more team players in for the biggest quarter of your life. Cannot wait to be cheering you on every single week through the end of the year, congrats. And with that, I cannot wait to hear what Miss Donna Weiser has to say this morning. So with that, Miss Donna, we would love to hear what you are going to train on.
Thank you. So, can you hear me okay? We all good? Oh, great. Just do me a favor. Tell me time-wise, are you like a 9:30 dead stop, or is there tell me if I went a few minutes over? I want to know what timing is real quick.
No, you can go over. We usually only give about 15 to 18 minutes per each speaker, but we went really fast because we want you to have as much time as possible. Okay. So, but before I was so excited, I didn't even share. Donna is literally Arbonne royalty, you guys, and not even just Arbonne royalty. She's world famous because she's in the new 4-year career, and she spoke on Richard Brooks Bliss's call, and she's just an amazing, sweet, kind person, but she's a powerhouse. So we are so honored to have you on this call, and I know she's probably going to share, but she started her business with entirely cold market, you guys. So didn't talk to anyone she knew. She went entirely out to meet new people right off the bat. So, you know, if that's something that's been a little bit scary to you, I don't know how many people have become region or nation on your team. I think I know a number, but I don't want to say it. I want you to share. And her results are just incredible because she has just figured out how to talk to people and get in front of people. So with that, Donna, yes, you have as much time as you want.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Hi, everyone. It's really an honor and a privilege, and it's fun that we could always share and learn from each other. One of my favorite expressions is school is never out for the pro. And I invited your beautiful leader, Christy, to share on our team call a couple weeks ago on how to do the clean cocktail hour. And it's just been, we're really excited about it. So it's just fun to learn from each other. I love that this is a business of learning and growing, both, you know, personally and professionally. So I'll just give you the Cliff Notes version of my journey, and it does include building only with the cold market. Because 26 years ago, and that's how long I've been doing this business, this month actually, 26 years ago, people in my life, in my world, thought I was out of my mind to drop out of graduate school to build this business. My kids were 6 years old and 9 years old. I have 2 daughters. And I wanted to put them in private school, and we couldn't afford to do that on my ex-husband's salary. And on what I was doing, I was a camp director, and I was going to graduate school for a master's in business. I found this business through the product. And it's interesting because if you've ever been to any of Jerry Rosenthal's trainings, he has all of the VPs stand up, and he says to the VPs, remain standing if you built your business entirely with your warm market. And everyone sits down, everyone. Because at some point, you'll run out of your warm market. Now, today, when I coach people on my team, I'm always encouraging them, please reach out to people that you love and people who love you, because this industry has a much better reputation than it did 26 years ago. But I was embarrassed about this industry 26 years ago. I didn't have the tools that we have today, books like The 4-Year Career or Eric Worre's Go Pro. We didn't have those tools back then. I knew in my heart that this was the answer for my family's financial challenges, which we had quite a few back then. I knew this was the answer for my future. I knew it. I just knew it intuitively. But because I didn't have the tools that you all have today, I had to reach out to people I didn't know. And I didn't. And it's funny, I have a little note on my desk. And this is like, I live by this little adage, I don't know if you can see it. If it's important, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. That's it. We can stop the training right now because that's the bottom line. If you want this business to grow, and if you're taking the time on a Saturday morning to jump on a call like this, then you have to be willing to do the do, whatever that do is. You have to be coachable and listen to people who came before you because they know what they're doing. You know, don't try to reinvent the wheel. So I have several things I wanted to chat with you about today, but I do want to start off with, and you asked me how many people I have in my success line. I have 13, I think, or 14 MVPs in my success line. I'm a 4-wide MVP, which is really a blessing and a gift. And as a matter of fact, I have RVPs that I don't even know, which is just, it's sad on one hand because I want to know everyone. but it's a blessing and a gift on the other hand. And when I first came into Arbonne and I was told to create a dream board or a vision board, I did, because I'm coachable. That's really important to listen. And I created this dream board, and in the corner of the dream board, I had all these different faces, different nationalities, different ages, different genders. And in my mind, that was my future team. And that's my team today. I mean, I'll just tell you something, like, it's funny, but it blows me away. It's not funny, it's just interesting that I sat down when at the training in San Diego, where I heard Christy talk about the clean cocktail, and at the great retreat you all did in San Diego. I sat down at this table, and I had a couple people from my team who came. Only 2 came from my team. And we're sitting at a table and chatting with one of the women at the table. Turns out she was in my downline. And all the girls at that table were in my downline. I didn't even know them because she had them blasted in my downline, deep in my downline. So it's amazing to have. So visualize that. You know, a big part of this business is your vision. Visualize a team that one day you're meeting someone and you go, oh my God, you're in my downline. It's like, that's amazing. That's such a gift. It's such a gift. And when you first start this business, you say to yourself, how could that be? But like when I first started doing Arbonne, we had fax machines. We didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. I'll never forget the very first time the report came. It would be like going onto your web stats. When the report came over the fax machine and I saw a name that I didn't know, it's like, oh my God, there's something in my business I don't know. So it's exciting. I really feel so blessed and fortunate. So 2 things I wrote down from the training that one of my MVPs did just before I jumped on with you guys. Pay attention to your intention. Pay attention to your intention. I love that she said that. And then she quoted Debbie Neal, because Debbie spoke at Sacramento, and that's where they were last week. Excuses are choices. I love that, because it is. It's a choice. So when Christy asked me to share today, she asked me some really great questions. I just love the questions you asked, Christy. So I wanted to address those first, and then we'll check on the time if I can talk a little bit about momentum and consistency. So these are the questions that Christy asked, and it's great. They're great questions. No one ever asked me these before. And by the way, I'm not sure how many of you are leaders, how many of you are new consultants, but the reality is if you're taking the time to get on this call, one day you will be a VP, and it's important to know this stuff from the get-go so you can learn from some of the challenges that we've had in the past. So knowing when to let go and when to invest in your team members, that was the question Christy asked. What are the signs that someone is taking this business seriously was another question that Christy asked. And the other was, what can you do as a leader to invest your time wisely in your team? Love those questions. So I'm going to review those, and I have my notes, so excuse me if I look like I'm reading, because I am. So first of all, when you sponsor someone in our business, you have to know, as their business partner, what their why is, right? Knowing someone's why is important for you. It's powerful for you to know their why. It's important for them to know their why, for you to remind them what their why is along the way. Donna Johnson, who's one of my dear friends in Sidelines, I think Sandra Tillinghast and I are like the very tiny small percentage that's not under Donna Johnson. We're actually direct to Arbonne, but that's another whole story. But Donna always talks about understanding someone's dreams and their desires and their discontents. And so what Donna Johnson had put together a personal strategy sheet, and we kind of revamped that ourselves, the people on my team. And then I'm not sure if some of you know, I think most of you all know Richard Brooke. So I'm personally coaching with Richard Brooke a couple times a month. Cost me a lot of money, but I'm learning so much from this man. It's incredible. And I actually use him as a tool for myself. And I had him take my personal strategy sheet, look at it, and give me his feedback. And he really liked it. We just tweaked a couple things. So, and by the way, you're all welcome to my website. If you're interested, my website is I guess we don't need that www anymore, do we? That's the old days, but it's Weiser, WISER.com, theweiserway.com, and the password is my last name, lowercase WEISER. Now, most of the stuff on there are not systems. A lot of it's generic stuff that we could all use. So I think it's fine for you to jump on there. you're welcome to take a peek and see the kind of personal strategy we're using. And I'm sure you guys have something that you're doing when you meet someone, when you sponsor a new consultant. But the point is that you have to really understand, and Richard's really helped me, and he helped me understand the importance of not only listening when you're doing a sponsoring appointment and you're getting to know someone who you're looking to sponsor, right? Or first of all, we listen when we prospect, right? Then we listen when we're in the sponsoring appointment or the interview, or whatever you want to call it. And then we have to really get to know and listen to what the needs are when someone does become our business partner, our consultant. So that personal strategy sheet is really important because it helps identify, ours does at least, what's your why? Why are you doing this business? And what fears or challenges might get in the way of you having success? Help them identify that right from the get-go. What are the challenges that you might have that might get in your way? So the fears and the hesitations. And the reason it's important for you to know that is when the time comes, and sadly, it often does, when they start having their own challenges, their fears, they stop showing up, and it happens. You want to know that. You want to know their why, so you can go back and say to them, and you want to go back and eventually say to them, Chrissy, let me ask you a question. I know that you said it was important that you, and then you plug the why in. I know you said it was important for you to help your partner retire, or I know it was important for you to get out of corporate America so you could stay with your kids. I know it was important for you to put your kids in private school. That was my why. I want to ask you this question. Is this still important to you? So when you know their why, then you can go back and remind them of what their why was. But if you don't know their why, you can't do that. Now, I'm one who does not like I don't like confrontation. I don't think anybody really likes confrontation. But it's important for us as leaders to be able to have those critical conversations with the people on our team. Because there are times that people, and one of the questions you asked, and I'm not even looking at my notes now, this is typical of my training, but one of the things that Christy asked is, how do you know, what are the signs that they're not showing up? Well, the signs are that they ghost you or they disappear. They stop getting on the calls that you have put together. They don't show up on your calls. They don't come to team meetings. So when that happens, what do you do? What are you supposed to do? You know you're not their boss, right? But the reality is you are their coach. And from the very beginning, they agreed when they did their personal strategy with you to be willing to hear this stuff when it's tough, right? Hear the tough stuff. So I don't love confrontation, believe me, but it's important for me to have that critical conversation with someone on my team if they're kind of ghosting me. So how do I do that? It's like the elephant in the room. I put it right there in front of everyone, in front of me and them. And I'll say, do I have permission to take off my friend hat and put on my manager hat or put on my vice president hat? Do I have permission? Because I'd like to have a critical conversation with you, and I know it's not going to be comfortable. Do I have permission to share with you what's in my heart? So that gives you permission versus calling somebody up and saying, how come you're not getting on the calls? Well, why don't I see you on the calls? How come I see zero by your name? I don't see you sponsoring anyone anymore. What's going on? You started off by saying, can we have a conversation that it might be difficult, but are you open to hearing some feedback from me because I love you, and this is what I'm having on my heart. I know you said that you really want to, get out of that corporate job in the next couple of years. Is that still important to you? And then be quiet and listen to what they have to say. And then the next question is, do you see this business still as the vehicle for you to get out of that situation you're in? Do you still see Arbonne as that vehicle? And then again, be quiet and listen, because they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you their challenges. They're going to tell you their fears. And then you could kind of dig in and figure out what's going on and help them realize it. And I think it's one of the reasons, I really believe that's one of the reasons that we as leaders go through our own challenges. Because we have to, how can I put it? I have to have experienced some of those challenges so I can honestly share those challenges or share how I got through those challenges with my team. So I'm going to here's just totally aside. I just remember this as I'm talking. I have a cousin he lives in San Diego, actually. He's older than I am. I'm 63, so my cousin, I think he's 70. And when I first started doing Arbonne, he was introduced to another network marketing company. And it was a company that disbanded very quickly, but you could buy into the top level. He told me that he could invest. He told me this. It was at one of our family meal dinners, like 30 people, and he comes over and he goes, "You're in network marketing, right?" And I go, "Yeah, you know I am." I think I was in for maybe 4 or 5 years. He said, "I just got introduced to a company. It was some kind of a company that helped you stop smoking or something, whatever." And he said, they told me that if I invest $30,000, I could be at the top level. And I said, He goes, "Isn't that awesome?" And I said, "Not awesome." He goes, "Why not?" He said, "I want to be at the top level." I said, "Yes, but Howie," his name was Howie, if you invest $30,000, that means that every single person that you sponsor into this business who cannot afford to spend $30,000, you can't coach them when they have their challenges. You can't coach them to get to the top. This is a business of duplication. And he didn't listen to me. And he lost $30,000. And, so we have to know, we have to be able to experience. So listen, it took me 8 years to get from RVP to MVP. I mean, I got to district manager in 3 months, area manager 4 months later. Then within 18 months, and back in those days, RVP in 18 months is fast. And then 9 years or 8 years, I think, from RVP to MVP. Which, by the way, nobody cares about that today, do they? I mean, I'm like the number 21 income earner of the company. I have 4-wide MVP. Nobody cares it took me 8 years, but I had lessons to learn during those 8 years. And so I can coach people today because of the challenges I went through. So when you have challenges in your business, just embrace them, love them, know it's part of your journey, and just know that one day you'll be able to help somebody on your team or more than one person on your team get through some of those challenges. So let me just go to my notes and see if I forgot anything I was talking about here. Oh yeah, so you said, what are the signs that someone's taking this business seriously or not? And that's when, here's a great way to know if someone's taking the business seriously. If you give someone an assignment, a simple assignment, can you listen to the SoundCloud? Can you listen to a training? And get back to me on what you thought. Share me your ahas. And I'll do that, by the way, even in our Facebook groups, because I have a Facebook group that I put together called Rise to Region, and I invited people to be part of that group, but they had to do something to get into that group. Something really simple. I think they had to send me their action plan for the next 4 months. I did that. I put that together in July. Now, 54 people are in that group. Then I put together a challenge, and I said, this is what we're doing for this challenge. If you're in, let me know. And of all those 54 people, only 15 people want to be part of that challenge. So what does that show me? That I want to work with those 15 people. That's what it shows me. The other people, good. You can be in that group, whatever. You can, but I know that I want to work with the people who are the movers and the shakers. And what happens in this industry, what happens in our business, what happens in life, and this is all about the law of attraction, is whatever we put attention to, we get more of. This is really powerful. This is a universal law, the law of attraction. So if you put attention to those, if I put attention to those 30 people that are not interested in doing the do, then I'm going to get more of those people. I need to put my attention to the people that want to do the do. And so now I took those 15 people and I stuck them in a Voxer group, and those are the people that I'm working with. Now, the other people, I'm there. I'm there for them when they ask me questions. Of course, I'm there for them. But one of the people who were part of that other, put in the extra 30 people, I'd asked her something. I asked her if she could I know what it was. There were 3 people I was doing a coaching call with. And by the way, it's another important point, is that the way you can leverage your time is if you have a handful of people who are at the same level and you're coaching them and you're saying the same thing to them over and over and over again, put them together in a group. Then you can say the same thing to everyone. That's why I love our messenger groups, our Voxer groups, our Facebook groups. It just makes your life easier so you can spend more of your time getting out there. 80% of your time, unless you're a 4-wide MVP, 80% of your time needs to be your own personal business. So if that's the case, and you only have 20% working with your team, and you're personally, privately coaching, 5, 6 people, if you're saying the same thing to the 6 people, get them on a group call. So I had a group call with 3 people actually that I was doing, and I asked all 3 of them to please listen to a training before we met on our next call. And this one gal said to me, I'll try. That's a word I never want to hear. I'll try. That word is, what did Yoda say? There is no try, just do. As a matter of fact, here, for those of you that are not driving, that are around, and that, here's a pencil, right? So I want you to put a pencil or pen down if you're taking notes, and I want you to try to pick it up. Try really hard. Try. Anybody pick it up? So if you picked it up, then you didn't try. You picked it up. You picked it up, right? This is what try looks like. So if I was trying to pick this up, try looks like this is what try looks like. You never do it, right? So there's no try. So she said, I'm going to try to listen to that call. And so I like to use humor when I want to slap somebody around. I would say that I'm tough on my team. I do take off the kid gloves, but I do it with humor. So I said to her, let me ask you a question. If I give you $5,000 to listen to that call, would you listen to it? And she laughed. I said, do you know that listening to that call could be worth more than $5,000? Now will you listen to that call? She goes, yes. So it's just a matter of how we, talking to our team, how we talk to them. But I want to work with the people that are willing to do the do, right? Okay, so let me just check my notes real quick, see if we're down here too. So again, the way you communicate with your team if they're not doing the do is just ask for permission to talk to them and to have a critical conversation. So those are the answers to the questions you asked, Christy. I hope that was helpful. And so now I can take a little bit more time. I just want to talk a little bit about momentum. Is that okay? This is so building momentum in your business. I'm going to give you 3 tips. One is to take consistent action. So to have success in your business, it takes consistent action, and you have to do the daily activities that will allow you to build the momentum that you need to thrust your business to success. Many people think that success comes with little action or just a few tries. There's that word again. But minimal action will get you a whole lot of nothing, but minimal results and frustration. However, taking massive action will help you build the momentum you need to have great success in your network marketing business. We are now in the quarter where you definitely have no excuses to take, but not to take massive action. No excuses. This holiday line is amazing. Our new products, people are looking to make money now with holidays coming up. So what does massive action look like? It looks like doing something every single day. And you have to be persistent. So momentum in network marketing, and the reason it's so important, it's when you repeatedly start and finish a certain set of actions for a consistent period of time until you finally start seeing the results. Kind of like a huge snowball that starts going down, down the mountain and suddenly becomes like a big, huge, avalanche. It just starts off with a little ball, then it just starts growing and growing and growing. It's that momentum that will help. And it's not about starting and stopping, because starting and stopping does not work. Starting and stopping is like, if you imagine a car going up the hill and then you stop the car, then you have to put more gas. Then you need more gas to get it going again. You just have to keep it going. That's so important. So over time, an action you performed last month affects the outcome of your results today. That's where the momentum comes in. And so you can create momentum by the habits that you're developing. And those habits are really, really important. So consistent effort is so amazing. And I found a video. I want to share my screen with you. I want to share this video that I love to show when I talk about consistent effort. And I'll show you this video. This is a trainer. His name is Brian Carruthers, and he's a network marketing trainer. I heard him speak at GoPro, and I just want to show you this real quick. Just a couple minutes.
How many of you, by show of hands, your business is not where you wanted it to be by December 2016 right now? January, you thought you'd be further along than you are today. Here's the question. From today backwards, how consistent have you been really building your business? Like doing income producing activity, talking to at least 2 prospects a day, every single day, just 2 a day, every day. From today backwards, how many days have you been consistently building your business? 2 a day. Raise your hand if you've done at least 5 for the last 5 days. Or that's a problem already. Nobody's raising their hand on that one. Here's what it's like. You guys like eating popcorn? Yes or no? Popcorn, anybody? This is what you're doing with your business.
Stop.
Popcorn doesn't work. You can do that literally for the next 3 years. You will never eat popcorn. You guys have been herky-jerky on, off, on, off, on, off in your business. You can't build the business for 3 weeks hard and then go take a couple weeks off and come back and work for a month, then go take a couple weeks off, come back for a month. That's why it's a momentum-based business. So if you want to eat this popcorn, it's going to be like this for years. This popcorn needs 2 minutes of consistent heat. Your business needs literal consistency. Consistency is the #1 thing that your business needs. Many of you guys have been depriving your business of it, and hopefully you all put in your notes with a circle around it for my talk today. I'm going to get my business much more consistent every single day, and I want to ask you guys, are you ready to go build your empire?
So I love that video because it's a great visual of how important consistent effort is. And the MVP that just trained on my call, the last hour, talked about when she finally embraced personal development, because every single person who's a top leader in this company finally embraced personal development, and some of them kicking and screaming, I will tell you. When she finally embraced personal development, that full year of pouring into herself consistently was building up to the point that the next year her business is exploding. She has 2 people in qual for RVP right now, and she has grown 42%, the next month 47%, and now 53% because of what she did a year ago. So that's my story. I could talk forever, so I just want to see if anybody has any questions.
That was amazing. I love that video. And how true is it? It's so crazy too, because if we think about it, like reaching out to 2 people or like meeting 2 new people a day, how long would that literally take? Like maybe 30 minutes, but we say all day long, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then our team we do a weekly 7. So we do 7 activities in a week. So if 5 were one-on-ones, then that's 5 20-minute meetings like you guys like this. And then 1 was an event or 2 were events and then whatever, or a couple drop-offs. Can you imagine, like, it's not as hard as we think it is, and we just make it so much harder. I loved that video.
And just ask yourself the question: if we're to pay you $5,000 or $500, whatever, to do those activities, would you do it? Absolutely, for $5,000, you would. Whatever, you would not care what anybody else thinks, which is one of the problems. And what Richard says, what I love, he said the reason that people don't do what they do in this business is that they don't think it's worth it. But I promise you, it's worth it. You have to really, and you have to know that the end result is going to be there. You have to know it from the bottom, from the core of your being. So you won't care if you ask somebody. The reason we don't ask people, because we're afraid what they're going to say or what they think. Who cares? They're not paying your bills, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, does anybody have any questions? That was awesome. Okay, a question. How did you build a team with only cold market?
Oh, you can listen to I have a training on my website called Warming Up the Cold. It was a learn and burn, Warming Up the Cold Market. I literally went out. What did I say at the beginning? Attention to my intention. Mm-hmm. I went out every day with the intention of getting names. I went to the mall. I go to the mall. I drop my kids off at school. Go to the mall. around 10:15, when the people who are working at the stores who are getting paid minimum wage, I talk to those people to start a conversation. How long have you worked here? Do you like what you do? And that's how I built my business with the cold market. I wouldn't come home without at least 5 leads every single day.
It's amazing. And it's so fun too. It's so funny how like scared people get about talking to people. Last night we went with, I went with Abby, and we went, she wanted to see what prospecting looked like. And we had a blast, absolute blast, and got some names and already following up with people. You guys, here's the sitch. All you have to do is get in front of people. All you have to do is take what you're focusing on, what you want for your life, and focus on that in a way where you're like, I will do anything possible to get to this point of what I need and want in my life. So all the other stuff doesn't matter. Eric says, if I'm a guy, can I do it alone? Eric says, if I'm a guy and I can do it alone, there's no excuse. He's right. He has been in Arbonne about 6 weeks. He's about to finish district. He's on his way, actually, working towards area. Yeah, Eric.
Eric, that is so awesome. By the way, I see what you wrote. If I'm a guy and can do it alone, there's no excuse. Just have to do it. Instead of saying just have to try, remember I said don't try? You just have to do it, right? And congratulations. That's awesome.
And he is.
Yay, good for you. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you guys have any other questions for Donna? Maybe like 1 or 2 more?
Donna, I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
First of all, thank you so much. That was amazing. I was like, scribbling the whole time. But so when you talked about signs of an invested team member and you have those critical conversations, at what point do you have those critical conversations so many times that the person keeps saying, I need help, to where, I don't want to say you cut them off. I don't mean it like that. But like, at what point do you go, okay, this is what you're going to do. And when you do this, this, and this, I mean, how that transition where you just love them where they're at, even though they keep asking for help, but they know what to do. Does that make sense?
So I say, Sarah, you know what? We've had these conversations before, and I'm going to recommend you read a book. And I have lots of books at my fingertips to let them read. Most of the time it's what's going on in their mindset. So I'll say, I want you to read a book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter, because I think what's going on right now is your own self-talk. Or I want you to read The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, because I think what's happening here is that you know what to do, but you're not doing it. So do me a favor, read that book, come back to me, and then we'll talk about that. We'll do some coaching. I'll just tell you one quick story. It just brings to mind what you talked about. When I first came into Arbonne, I sponsored a woman who was the principal of the local high school, and I thought, oh my God, this woman's going to be my first VP. High-powered woman. I mean, she had such stature, and she had a master's in education. She was amazing. And she became an executive district manager, but I just never could figure out, why is this woman not growing? And she never grew. She never grew. And then over the years, she always stayed involved, like 24 years ago. So recently, and she places orders. I see her once in a while. She came to GTC a few years ago. So recently I saw her on one of my Saturday morning calls. It's like, wow. I said, oh, there you are. Hi, Cherie. I'm Cherie. And I said, it's good to see you. She sent me a message. She goes, I think I'm ready to come back. Well, this is years, right? So we met she lives in Arizona now, but she was in town on her business. We met for coffee. I promise there's an end to the story. And we sat down, and I said, so why now? What's happening now when I thought you were going to be my first VP? Why are you suddenly ready to do this? She goes, I have to tell you a funny story. She goes, I was just a big snob. I was a big snob. She said, I went to a meeting and I heard Donna Johnson speak, and I was going, she was a swim instructor. I have a master's in education. And you were so excited about this. You were ready to take this to the top, and you were a camp director, right? She goes, now look who's laughing now. She said, look who's laughing. Here's me. She said, I'm 64 years old, struggling financially, because I was a snob 20 years ago. So, you know what? We can't change people. We just have to be there, like you said, love them where they are, give them something to do, give them something to listen to, and then let them come back to you. It's one of the hardest things for me to do when I see a name of someone who I know should be at the top, but I can't invest my heart and soul into them if they're not willing to do the personal development, and I can't be their therapist. That's tough, believe me.
Thank you. That's incredibly helpful. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That's so perfect. I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much. We just have to keep going. We have to keep asking. And you know what? I'm going to put a challenge out to you guys for the rest of the year. Get your name on this board every single week. Get a new consultant in the column, because that's what's going to grow you to above and beyond. PCs are fantastic, and they're going to give you cash. Consultants are going to bring you up to area, region, nation, and multi-nation. So share the gift, you guys. You are so lucky. We're so blessed to have what we have. We need to share this and spread this with as many people as possible. So, I encourage you, here's my call to action, 2 to 3 new consultants every single month until the year's up. And honestly, if you do that, you're going to see you're going to grow to the next management level. If you're going to duplicate that, and you're going to want to keep going. That's exactly what I did when I got Parade of Champions, 2 to 3 new consultants every single month. And that's not crazy if you put your intention on it, just like Donna said. So put your intention to grow your business, grow your team, get your name on the board. Let's rock this out. Biggest quarter of the year. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate you so much.
Sure.
Have an amazing day, you guys, and let's do this.
Come say hi at Impact.
Come say hi?
Yes, come say hi at Impact.
Yes, come say hi. Come over and say hi to her at Impact.
Yay.
For sure.
Bye.
All right, you guys. Bye.